It's easy to get swept away by the noise in the crypto space. Every week there's another protocol, another L2 and another revolutionary platform trying to solve a problem most people don't even know exists. But every so often a project comes along that doesn't just ride the narrative, it expands it, and that's what Mawari is doing with spatial computing. Hi, my name is Rico Richardson and I have close to 2 years of experience in the financial industry. In this video I'm going to tell you what Mawari is and then introduce their decentralized infrastructure offering to you. Let's start at the beginning, because this isn't just another blockchain pitch. Mawari's story begins in a place most crypto projects never even visit: the real world. Before diving into nodes, tokens and Web3 jargon, Mawari first asked a simple question: how do we make AR and VR experiences seamless, fast and scalable for everyone? And the answer, it wasn't more hardware, it wasn't more centralized cloud infrastructure, it was a network, and a decentralized one that could stream high quality spatial content in real time, even on lightweight devices. That's the core of what Mawari is building: a decentralized rendering and delivery protocol optimized for XR and the spatial web. And in order to deliver the 3D internet, Mawari needs to be as close to the end user as possible so they avoid latency, something critical in the XR because it could cause motion sickness and overall bad experiences for the end user. And that's one of the main reasons for them to go decentralized. Now if you're thinking, okay, but why now? The timing couldn't be more perfect. Just look at the recent moves in the industry. Apple Vision Pro is out. Meta is pushing new versions of its Quest headsets, and Niantic, the team behind Pokemon Go, is doubling down on AR SDKs. Big Tech is laying the foundation for spatial computing, but it's companies like Mawari that are quietly solving the biggest problem: bandwidth and delivery. Mawari isn't just chasing a trend here either. Since 2017 they've been building real-world technology that's already delivered 50+ commercial projects for brands like Netflix, BMW, KDDI and T-Mobile. This isn't a maybe someday company, they're already pulling in 1.5 million a year on average. And now, with spatial computing and real-time AI avatars taking off globally, they're scaling their network to meet demand in a way that feels authentically Web3. And here's where it ties into the broader Web3 story. Node operators can earn by providing compute and bandwidth, creating a real incentive loop that supports the protocol's growth. Not unlike Helium, but focused on the spatial web. Let's also talk about the token side without giving financial advice, of course. What's key here is that Mawari isn't rushing a launch just to ride the bull market. They're taking the deliberate route. The node network is being built with long-term incentives in mind, and they're focused on creating real utility before opening the gates to speculation. When you hear the word node, you probably think of some dusty server in a cold data center, but Mawari flips that idea on its head. Their nodes aren't just sitting there doing basic computing work. They're actively rendering and streaming high quality AR and VR content on demand right where it's needed. Now imagine you're walking through an AR city tour or using an XR app for remote learning. Mawari's network is what makes that experience smooth, without frying your device or relying on a massive cloud provider. And what's really clever is how they've set this up. The Guardian nodes are CPU based and the rewards are fixed based on the availability they have for the network, rather than the specific verification job they could do. Now, Guardian node operators will provide meaningful, measurable contributions by actively monitoring and ensuring network health and uptime. And in return, operators earn sustainable rewards, which are tied directly to network revenue and real-world usage. Now, in regards to their nodes, let's talk about a huge milestone for Mawari that's just dropped: the launch of their Decentralized Infrastructure Offering. If you've been watching the explosion in AI-driven immersive 3D content, you'll immediately see why this is a big deal. Through the DIO, Mawari is inviting compute resource owners, so people like you and me or bigger players, to become Guardian node operators. And these aren't passive nodes sitting around collecting dust. Guardian nodes actively monitor and maintain the network, making sure immersive 3D content can stream to devices all over the world, quickly and affordably. Now in return, node operators earn real sustainable rewards directly tied to the network's revenue. And it's not hype-driven rewards either. Guardian operators receive 20% of the Mawari network's actual revenue, scaling as the demand for spatial content grows. There's a lot I like about the structure. First, rewards are tied to real usage and real-world demand, and not just inflationary tokenomics. Second, the buy-in is actually accessible. Node licenses start at just $333 and operate exclusively through the Arbitrum blockchain. If you don't want to deal with node maintenance yourself, you can even delegate it to partners like EaseFlow or Deepin Hub, making participation really convenient. What's also refreshing is how flat and fair the pricing is. No last-minute auctions, no gamified scarcity tricks, just clear access to 3 Guardian node tiers. Plus, if you're early, Mawari is offering early operator incentives, basically extra token rewards for keeping your node healthy and reliable during the critical early stages. Mawari is not moving alone either. They've locked in partnerships with big names like KDDI and Animoca Brands Japan, and infrastructure support through players like Bitmedia and Zulu Cash. This isn't just a pitch, it's an actual plan to decentralize the future of AI in immersive 3D content powered by a revenue-generated network. Underneath it all, the network is backed by its own blockchain layer using Arbitrum Orbit to make sure everything scales securely and efficiently. This technical backbone matters because if you're betting on the future of spatial computing, and trust me, with the market expected to hit 377 billion by 2030, it's the projects that get the infrastructures right that will win. The Guardian node licenses officially go live in early June and is definitely one of the few real-world Deepin opportunities out there that feel built for longevity, not just another speculative wave. Make sure to follow their socials to stay up to date on the latest news about this. And before we wrap this up, please keep in mind that I'm not a registered financial advisor. My videos are meant to be educational and entertaining only. Always do your own research and only invest money you're willing to lose, because even though you can gain a lot in crypto, you will most likely lose it all. Now, if you do gain a lot, it's important to stay safe. I've put links in the description to VPNs and hardware wallets to keep your crypto and activities secure. Be sure to check those out. And to end this video, here's another thing that I personally think gives Mawari an edge over other projects. They aren't waiting for a hypothetical metaverse moment to start monetizing. They're already generating income through enterprise collaborations. It's something most early stage crypto projects can only dream of. So why would this matter to you as an investor, builder, or just someone trying to make sense of the next evolution of internet? Because if we get this right, if decentralized delivery of XR content becomes the norm, we unlock a whole new level of internet. Not just websites and apps, but experiences, shared realities, interactive education, real-time immersive commerce, and all of it without handing over control to a single tech giant. This isn't just about crypto, this is about freedom, about building infrastructure for the internet we actually want to live in. That's the story of Mawari. Not hype, not vaporware, just a team of engineers, entrepreneurs and visionaries working at the intersection of Web3 and the spatial web, quietly shaping a future that feels less and less like science fiction and more like the next logical step. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Doei!